Okay, so now let's look at actually putting a string on the instrument, changing some strings up on the bass. So we'll just take the top string off this bass and put on a new one. Now, you can notice that on this bass at the moment, the strings have had little use, so I can hear they're a little dead. So it's time to change the strings. So what we do is, if you notice up here, we've got the tuning pegs. Also notice how the string is wound onto the tuning peg right now. The metal part of the string here is sitting at the bottom of the string post, and then the windings sit above it. This is really important. This serves to push the string firmly down to the bottom of the post, which means that along with the string tree here, means we've got good tension of the string being forced over the nuts here. This is much better for sound, string response, and string tension. So make sure you do this when you wind the string. So we'll do that. So first we just decrease the tension in the string like this, just turning the winding peg down like this. And you can see the string is released from the post pretty easily. Boom, take it off. Now, as we move down the bass, down here to the bridge, where the string's fastened at this end, this particular bass is a quick release bridge, so you don't have to thread it through the back of the bridge like the old style bridges on a Fender, for instance. So this just pops out like that, and you see there's a hole there, and that's where the string slots into. So it's actually really convenient. So there's your old string. And now we're ready to put on a fresh string. So top string, most string packets will have the number of the string or the letter name. So in this case, you can see it says first, that's your first string here, and this is a 5-string set, so specifically designed for this bass. And these are the nickel wound ones, like I said, the nickel wrap ones. So these are the ones I like. What we do is we just pop it in here like this. Make sure it's fastened properly at the bridge, just slips into a little anchor here. Each bridge can vary in this respect, but before you take the strings off, notice how the strings actually lock into the bridge on your particular bass, so you know how to put the strings in. We take this along here on the neck, thread it through the nut like that, under the string post. Now, I've got a lot of string here spare, maybe a little too much. So, and here's a really important point. A lot of people make this mistake. When you trim the end of a string, they just cut it like this. This is not a great idea, because what can happen if you do like that is the inner winding can slip as you cut the string. So what you should do is this. Decide roughly how much string length you want. I'm going to allow, let's say, 2.5 inches of actual string to wind over the post. That should give me a good amount to wind over the string post here. And I'm going to trim the rest. But before I do, I'm going to fold the string over like this. Watch that. And now I'm going to cut the string behind the bend so it still grips the inner core of the string by bending it at a right angle like that. So I take my string trimming device and just cut this, leaving about a little under an inch, 3/4 of an inch, like that. It's enough to fit neatly into the hole in the string post, which all basses have, like this. Now, as you can see, what we want to do is the string post is going to turn this way, clockwise, so we want to wrap it like this. You can see that's how we're going to work it. And now, we'll start to just tighten the string. And what we're going to do is make sure that the string, the winding, is going on the bottom of the post like that. You can see I'm making sure that the wraps here are sitting on the top, and then the last piece of string is going on the bottom of the string post. So what we'll do is we'll just keep winding this. And you can get string winders. Some of them actually allow you to speed wind these strings. This particular bass has fairly large tuning pegs, so it can be a little hard sometimes to actually find something that will fit this, but you can pick those up to your local guitar store. And we'll keep pulling that. And as you're winding the string, make sure that the string hasn't slipped out of the bridge at the other end of the bass. Now, the advantage with this particular bass, the bridge is actually quite well designed, so it doesn't tend to let the string slip out even when there's no tension on it. And that's actually a really useful feature. So we just do this, just doing this slowly, making sure it grips the string properly. Still making sure the winding is at the bottom. You can see that's working quite nicely there. The string's gradually getting tauter. I can feel that. Making sure it just stays on nicely here. And now I'm just bringing the string up to tension. Now, when we do this, I use a harmonic here on the 5th fret of the string below. and I play a harmonic on the 7th fret of the string I'm tuning, so 7th and 5th. 5th fret of the lower string, 7th of the high one. Listen to this. See, when they're in tune, you get this. They match each other, so we want to get this string and this string in tune. And you can hear. See? You notice how it's worked out nicely. We've got the string is wound to the bottom of the string post like that, nice and evenly. Sitting nicely in the bridge here. You want to make sure the string is sitting. If you have the bridge saddle with the indentations, the string actually sits nicely in the middle there. And you can hear the sound difference already. And you can hear the older string, a little dead, but the new one, even acoustically, much more life to the sound. Now the strings will stretch a little bit when they're new, so what I normally do is I just play them a little. I often just bend the string just a few points, or even stretch it here. Just take the string between two fingers at the end of the fingerboard and just pull it upwards a little bit. Just stretch that. And that stretch a little. You can hear the vibrations now. It's out of tune. And just raise it again a little more. And there you go. String successfully installed. Enough winding on the string post to keep the string nicely fastened there. Good tension under the bridge. Sitting nicely in the indentation here on the bridge saddle. And in tune. So there's a G string. Repeat that for all the strings. And as you do this, make sure the way you wind it, the string goes underneath like this and underneath here. So it's winding below the post on this side of the bass, and then if you've got the tuning pegs on this side, it goes this side above. So they're going like this and round the tuning pegs like that. It's very important. You can see this is wound like that. If you get confused, just refer back to this and you can see how to string the bass. And as you turn the string up to pitch, do it slowly and evenly and let the string just stretch nicely. And that's how to string your bass.